Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is gonna be I've done a video like this before, and I think I will periodically do these like every once in a while, but basically you can tell from the title, today we're going to talk about some products which I like but I don't think I'll repurchase. So basically, you know those meh-ish products which are not favorites, they're not holy grails, but then they're not bad. They're not that bad that I feel like I want to declutter them or I hate them. I do kind of regret spending my money on some of them, not all of them. So we'll basically talk about them as we go. I have 10 products in total to talk about. So yes, without any further ado, let's jump into it. Let's get started. I will also link the previous video which I did down below, which is also basically the same one. So this is like part 2 basically of the same one. I did that one I want to say maybe a year or more ago, and I also want to let you know that sometimes thoughts can change, and maybe some of these products I might actually repurchase in the future, but as of today, like July 2024, I don't think I'll repurchase any of them, is what I'm getting at. So yes, now that we have all our disclaimers aside, let's jump into it. So to start out with first, also I'm sorry, I'm not able to manage my hair today. I washed it and it's kind of like all over the place. I'm also learning how to you know, tame it and style it and which way it looks good in, that kind of thing. I'm not used to like these curtain bangs basically, which they don't even look like curtain bangs because they're like curly. Anyway, let's come back to the video, but I'm sorry if my hair is irritating anyone. It's a little annoying to me as well, but let's get into our list. Starting with first, we have the AcMist Moisturizer. Now this is a product I love. Again, like I said, I like every single product in this list. I don't hate anything, but with the AcMist Moisturizer, I have noticed it's something that I don't repurchase probably as often, because it's something that I can only buy on Amazon pretty much, because on other retailers it's usually you know, out of stock or you know, stuff like that. And I don't tend to buy a lot of my beauty products on Amazon. A lot of people have Prime, so they find it more convenient to actually buy beauty products on Amazon. I feel like I'm kind of ulta in that sense. And this is also a product that you can maybe save like 10% 15% on, but nothing more than that. And I'm used to buying from brands like Dermaco, Dr. Sheths, which usually go on buy one get one offers. And I've also done a video comparing all my favorite moisturizers and telling you you know, how many grams you get for how much, and like considering offers and discounts. This is actually one of the more expensive moisturizers on that list, so it is far down where I'm not getting a lot for the price, and it also doesn't last for a very long time because it's just 50 grams. So considering all of these factors, I feel like this is more expensive than some of my other favorites, which is why I don't tend to repurchase it as often. In fact, I don't think I've repurchased it at all. So even though I love it, I wish it was more affordable, or maybe like if I get a coupon or something where I'm not actually paying a lot of money for the actual product, maybe I can save a lot of my money, then I think I might actually repurchase it. But otherwise, if I have to pay like, you know, full price and I'm not getting a great offer or a discount, I don't think I will actually repurchase this. Let's move on next and talk about something from Foxtale, and this is their Niacinamide serum. Now I did really like this, and I find the product to be quite unique, if I have to be completely honest, but I feel like my skin is more drier than it was earlier. This is a product which is amazing for super oily skin because it's got that primer like silicone texture and consistency, and it can be absolutely great if you have very oily skin, because I think it will mattify your skin. On my skin, on the other hand, I actually feel like it's kind of drying because my skin is not as oily as it was a couple of years ago. So I feel like for me personally, it is not the best product, and also it does have a fragrance to it, which is not my absolute favorite. So if it was like, if my skin was oilier like a couple of years ago how it was, or if it didn't have a fragrance, I think I would actually, you know, continue to repurchase it, because I think it's a great price. I think you get a good quantity, it lasts a decent amount of time, like everything else is great. So for someone who has super oily skin, I would still recommend this to you, because I think it's going to mattify your face very nicely, and I think you're going to really like this. But if you have normal combination dry skin, there are other more hydrating niacinamide serums out there. Our third product is the K-Beauty loose powder. Now I used to really love this loose powder back in the day, but I did recently repurchase it. Actually I repurchased it last year, but I got around to using it very recently, and I've used it up as well since then. So this is, I want to say, my second or my third tub. So I have repurchased it a couple of times, but I feel like in 2024 I have discovered other loose powders which are way better and which are more affordable, and you get a better bang for your buck. Also, this is something that can occasionally pill slightly in certain regions of my face, like around my nose region or around my jawline. There can be like these powdery flaky bits on that specific region, and once the natural oils of my skin start peeking through, it kind of disappears and it just blends away, I guess. I don't know what happens. So it's not a bad product, and I think I could use it up very easily, but considering the price that you pay for it, and I usually buy this only when it goes on offer, I don't buy it otherwise. I just think that there are better products out there, like for example the Makeup Revolution one. You get so much quantity for how much you're paying, so that's a way better deal as compared to the K-Beauty one. However, I feel like for dry skin people, you might actually like this a lot because it's not a super mattifying powder. However, I think it's going to work differently on everyone's skin. It might not pill on your skin, it does pill on my skin. So keep all those things in mind, keep my overall review in mind, and then decide if you want to pick this product up or not. It's completely up to you, but I don't think I would repurchase it for myself. Let's move on next and talk about another niacinamide product, but this is a moisturizer. It's from Plum. They have their 2% niacinamide gel moisturizer. Now this is something I did buy, and I accidentally bought two instead of buying one, so I've used up one completely. I have one more in my collection and I will use it up for sure, but after that I don't think I would repurchase it because this is a very thin, extremely viscous kind of a moisturizer. It literally, like, sometimes I feel like slips off my hand because it comes in a tub packaging, so when I'm reviewing the product and trying to apply it on my face, it gets very messy everywhere, and that is my main problem with this. If the consistency was a little bit more thicker, I think I would have really enjoyed it, but because it is so liquidy, almost to the point where it feels like a serum or like an essence versus a moisturizer, that is my main problem, because I just think the packaging doesn't work so much for me, and like the packaging and the consistency just doesn't work together. So even though I really like how lightweight it is, how gel like it is, it's just a mess overall, and I will use up what I have because, like I said, I have one more tub, but I won't repurchase it. Then we also have another like product I really loved back in the day, but I don't feel like it serves me anymore. It is the Derma Sunscreen. They have a couple of different variations. They had the SPF 55 version, which I really loved, but now I think they have the SPF 50 version back again. Earlier, like in the middle, it was out of stock for a very long time, and they introduced the 55 one, so I thought it's being reformulated or repackaged or whatever, but now the SPF 50 version is back and the 55 version is not available. They're pretty interchangeable to each other, so it doesn't really matter, but this is a very like gel like sunscreen. I want to say, like, it goes on like a cream, like it looks like it's a cream but it blends into a gel, similar to the AcMist Moisturizer like I spoke about earlier, but this is of course a sunscreen that is a moisturizer. Now this product I think would work really good if you have oily skin and you don't want like a chip sunscreen on your face. This would be a great one. However, gel like sunscreens like these do leave a little bit of like a I wouldn't say a glow or a dew, I don't know what the right word is, but there is some shine involved in the process. So if you want like a super mattifying sunscreen, I don't think that this is the best option. However, if you want a no chip sunscreen, this is the best option in my opinion personally. But again, Derma sunscreens also I used to buy a lot earlier from Sublime Life. I had points and I would use it that way. Sublime Life has since gone out of business. It's not a retailer anymore. Their website I'm pretty sure is completely gone now, so that's why I don't repurchase this as much anymore, because on Nykaa or on Amazon you have to basically pay full price for this, and you don't get a ton of product considering how much you're paying. There are definitely way more affordable sunscreens which give you a better value and which are equally good for me personally. There is Aqualogica, there is Dermaco, there is which other brand do I constantly buy from? I think these are two other main ones which I buy from, which are a much better like bang for my buck. So I'm going to continue to repurchase those. Let's move on next and talk about some Dr. Sheths sunscreens. So we have the Ceramide and Vitamin C sunscreen, which is the first one. Now this to me was like my go-to winter sunscreen, and I used to not use it throughout the year, but I thought that because it's a super creamy formula, I'm going to love it in the winters. Now, this past winters, I discovered that I don't really need to buy a specific winter sunscreen. All I need to do is use my night cream, which is the AcMist Moisturizer in the daytime, along with the Deconstruct Skincare Gel Sunscreen, and it works really great for me in the winters. So instead of buying new products for a specific season, I can just use the existing products that I have in my collection in a different way, in a different combination, and make it work for me. And ever since I have discovered that, I don't feel the need to buy a winter specific sunscreen. So that kind of eliminates the need for me to buy an additional product. I can just make what I have work for me, and that is why I'm not going to be repurchasing this sunscreen. Moving on, next we also have the Haldi and Hyaluronic Acid sunscreen from Dr. Sheths, which is very similar to Dermaco, Aqualogica. Like, these are all sunscreens that come from different brands, but all these different brands are under the same parent company, which is Honasa. So that is, I think, the main reason I feel like all these formulas are very similar to each other. However, for some reason, I don't know, I prefer Dermaco and Aqualogica over Dr. Sheths. So for that reason, I will not be buying the Haldi and Hyaluronic Acid one. But I don't think that they are really that different from each other. So I don't know, it's just a preference thing. Maybe it's the packaging, maybe it's the texture, maybe it is just that I know that these work for me, so I just want to stick to them instead of repurchasing the Haldi and Hyaluronic Acid ones. So yeah, that is that. Moving on, we have one more product from K-Beauty actually, and this one was probably the one that I kind of regretted spending my money on. It is the liquid lipstick from K-Beauty. I bought the shade Embrace. Now, the formula of the K-Beauty one I had very high expectations from, because the MRP of this product is over 1,000 rupees. I think it's 1,200 if I'm not mistaken, and that is a lot for one liquid lipstick. So I had very high hopes and expectations from this formula. However, it let me down because it's a very subpar, mediocre product. I feel like if I spent half the amount of money that I spent on this, I could get a much better formula like Miss Claire, like Plum, because it's kind of drying. I would say it's not the most comfortable. It kind of feels like I'm putting like a layer of paint on my lips. So yeah, the formula just did not seem great considering how much I paid for it. And this product kind of went viral, I want to say a couple of months ago, when it was really popular and everyone was talking about it, and I really wanted to try out the formula and see if it was any good. And when I did, I ended up being quite disappointed, especially for the price. Like, even on discount, I think I paid 900 or something rupees for it, which I do regret spending that much money. 800 or 900 maybe, I don't remember correctly, but I will definitely use it up because I spent so much money on it, and I like the shade which I have, which is the shade Embrace, but I will definitely not repurchase it or even recommend it, to be honest. Moving on, next we have something that I've actually repurchased once, but I won't continue repurchasing. I'll just use up what I have, and that is the Nykaa Ultra Matte Lipsticks. Now, these are bullet lipsticks which have like a really nice formula consistency. They go on really well on the lips, and they are super pigmented. Of course, they're not long lasting, but they're bullet lipsticks, so you can only expect so much from them. However, I will not be repurchasing them because I think I'm kind of over bullet lipsticks, and I just want to stick to liquid lipsticks from here on, because I do find them to be quite long lasting, and they're just my favorite formula because of how well they last throughout the day. I never have to think about them fading, smudging, and they also don't really dry out my lips. So in general, I'm gonna be a liquid lipstick, like exclusively liquid lipstick girl from here on. I will use up all the bullet lipsticks that I have, but I don't really see myself buying any more bullet lipsticks. So yes, the Ultra Matte lipsticks are gonna go bye-bye once I use up what I have and I empty them out. I'm not gonna be repurchasing them. And the 2 shades which I have as well, I feel like I can replicate those shades in other formulas, so I don't need to repurchase them. And the last product for this video is another Dermaco sunscreen. I feel like we spoke about quite a few sunscreens. I think half this video was sunscreen. Am I mistaken? Yeah, we spoke about 4 sunscreens out of 10, so that's a lot. The Dermaco Hyalacalamine Hydrating Sunscreen. Now this one was actually the most affordable sunscreen when we saw the value and how much money you're paying and the offers, like all of that stuff. But this formula in general is not my absolute favorite. I think I prefer the OG 1% hyaluronic acid sunscreen formula, or the Ceramide formula, or the D-tan sunscreen from Aqualogica. I prefer those over this one because this can sometimes not blend as seamlessly into the skin. It can kind of leave like a weird castish. And if you are putting makeup on top right after and you're not stepping out with just sunscreen on your face, it works. It definitely works under makeup really well. But these days I have gotten back into doing my skincare at home and then going to work and doing my makeup at work, and sometimes it takes like quite a few hours for me to even do my makeup at work. I might not do it right in the start of the day, so I'm spending a couple of hours just in my sunscreen. So I want my sunscreen to look good on its own all over my face. So I think it's more of a situational change that has happened, and that is why I will be saying bye bye to the Hyalacalamine Hydrating Sunscreen. I think I used up my last tube. I'm pretty sure I don't have any more in my stash, so I will not be repurchasing it going forward in the future. So yes, those were all the products I wanted to speak about, and thankfully I feel like this video is not as long as I thought it would be, so I'm glad about that. But that is it. Those were all the products. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video and you got some updated thoughts from me on some of the products that I used to use and talk about. Some I will still use and talk about because I have them in my collection, but once they are out of my collection, they will not be coming back. That is my consensus for now, and like I said, it might change in the future. If it does, I will let you know, but that's how I feel as of today and right now, basically. So yes, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, you guys, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. Until then, bye bye.